Deep in a sparkling pond, where the water was a brilliant turquoise and the lily pads glowed with a gentle light, lived a little baby frog named Freddy. Freddy was a creature of habit. Every single morning, he'd wake up, stretch his little froggy legs, and hop, 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 right onto his favorite lily pad. Not the big one near the cattails, or the small one by the mossy rock, but his lily pad, the one that was just the right size, right in the middle of a sunny patch. From his safe spot, Freddy had the best view of the entire pond. He loved watching his friends. There was Lola, the light fish, who shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. Lola would dart through the water, leaving sparkling trails behind her. And then there was Tito, the tiny turtle. Tito was slow and steady, but he was always up for an adventure. He'd slide down slippery, moss-covered logs and explore the mysterious shadows under the big willow tree. Lola and Tito were always playing new games. One day, it would be Follow the Bubble, where Lola would blow a big, wobbly bubble and Tito would try to follow it before it popped. The next, they'd play leaf boat races, pushing tiny fallen leaves across the water with their noses. Freddy thought their games looked like so much fun. He'd wiggle his toes in excitement just watching them. A part of him, a tiny little voice in his head, whispered, "Go on, Freddy, go play with them." But another, much louder part of him felt shy and a little scared. His lily pad was safe. It was familiar. He knew exactly how it felt under his feet, how it bobbed gently in the water. Out there, with the racing and the splashing, well, that was all new. What if he wasn't fast enough? What if he splashed the wrong way? So, he stayed on his lily pad, just watching, a little smile on his face, but a big wish in his heart. One particularly sunny afternoon, the light danced on the water, making everything look magical. Lola and Tito were playing a brand new game. Lola would swim just under the surface, her rainbow scales glowing brightly, and Tito would gently tap the water above her, trying to make the light patterns dance. It looked beautiful. Freddy watched, his eyes wide with wonder. Lola noticed Freddy watching from his lily pad, as he always did. She swam closer, her fins making tiny, quiet ripples. "Hi, Freddy," she chirped, her voice like tinkling bells. Tito paddled over too, giving Freddy a slow, friendly blink. "We're playing water light dance. Do you want to try?" Lola asked, her whole body wiggling with excitement. Freddy's heart did a little flip-flop. He wanted to say yes. He really, really did, but the words got stuck in his throat. He just shook his head a tiny bit, his cheeks turning a deeper shade of green. "Oh," said Lola, her sparkle dimming just a little. "Okay, well, we're right here if you change your mind." They went back to their game, and Freddy went back to watching. But this time, it didn't feel as fun. The sun didn't seem as bright, and the pond didn't seem as magical. He looked at his lily pad. It was still safe, still familiar, but for the first time, it also felt a little lonely. He watched Lola and Tito laughing, their joy echoing across the water. He saw Lola do a little flip, sending a gentle spray of water into the air. It looked so refreshing. Later that afternoon, Lola had another idea. She remembered how Freddy seemed a little nervous about big games. So, she came up with a much quieter, gentler one. She swam over to Freddy's lily pad again, this time moving very slowly. "Freddy," she said softly, "how about we try a different game? It's called Tiny Splash. All you have to do is dip one toe in and make the smallest splash you can." She demonstrated, dipping the very tip of her fin into the water, creating a ripple so small it was almost invisible. "See, easy peasy." Freddy looked at Lola's kind, sparkling eyes. He looked at Tito, who was giving him an encouraging nod. He looked down at the cool, clear turquoise water lapping at the edge of his lily pad. "Just one toe," he whispered, his voice barely a croak. "Just one toe," Lola confirmed with a smile. Freddy took a deep breath. He shuffled to the very edge of his lily pad, his little froggy heart thumping like a drum. He hesitated, his mind buzzing with what-ifs, but then he thought of all the fun he was missing. He thought of how kind his friends were. Slowly, carefully, he extended one of his back legs. He pointed his little webbed foot and dipped the very tip into the pond. A tiny ripple spread out from his toe. It wasn't a big splash. It wasn't loud or scary. It was just a little circle that grew and grew until it disappeared. Freddy looked up. Lola was beaming. Tito gave a happy little grunt. "You did it," Lola cheered quietly. "That was a perfect tiny splash." A strange feeling bubbled up inside Freddy. It wasn't shyness. It wasn't fear. It was fun. He did it again, this time dipping his whole foot in. Plip! Another ripple. He giggled. It was a small sound, but it was a start. He looked at Lola, a real, wide smile spreading across his face for the first time that day. Encouraged, he slowly slid off his lily pad and into the water. The coolness was a surprise, but a good one. It felt wonderful on his skin. He paddled his feet gently, feeling the water support him. Lola swam around him in a slow, happy circle. "Now try a soft splash with your hands," she suggested. Freddy put his hands together and patted the water. Splash! A small spray of droplets flew into the air, glittering like diamonds in the sunlight. He laughed out loud this time, a full, happy, froggy laugh. Tito paddled closer and made a soft splash of his own, and soon, the three of them were sitting in a little circle, making gentle, soft splashes, sending ripples and sparkling drops all over. Freddy was no longer just watching the fun. He was part of it. He was splashing, he was laughing, and he was with his friends. From that day on, Freddy's favorite lily pad was still his special spot, but it was no longer the only place he wanted to be. It became his starting point for new adventures. The next day, he helped Tito find the smoothest stones at the bottom of the pond. The day after that, he learned how to play follow the bubble with Lola, and he discovered he was actually quite good at hopping just in time to see them pop. He was still the same Freddy, a little bit careful and a little bit quiet, but now he knew that trying new things wasn't so scary after all. In fact, it was the best way to discover just how wonderful and fun the world could be, especially when you have good friends by your side. And the sparkling turquoise pond seemed more magical than ever before. Thanks for watching our story today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more adventures from the pond. See you next time.